Welcome to Bacon Shorts by Bacon Sports. I'm Rob Cressy. This is episode 17. My hashtag random athlete of the day is Darvin Ham, a slamwich, who broke the backboard when he was at Texas Tech. Celebrating a birthday today on October 27th is Sergey Samsonov, all-name team driver for NASCAR, Dick Trickle, as well as former San Diego Padre Bip Roberts. We've also got fellow Mobro Pete Vukovich. And for all you out there that want to grow an awesome mustache and be part of Team Bacon for November, sign up with this link. The NBA season starts tonight, and I'm super excited. For the first time ever, I've got NBA League Pass. Living in Chicago, I'm a Bulls fan first. But now, I'm adopting the Oklahoma City Thunder as my NBA League Pass team, and I'm rooting for them. So, I thought it would be fun to go through some of the storylines and things by team to give you an idea of what I'm thinking about with this current NBA season. Let's start out with my team, the Chicago Bulls. What are my expectations for them? I think this team can win the title if they all come together. I even put a jelly bean or two on it. They're a deep team. Joakim Noah's coming off the bench, as is Taj Gibson. Hopefully Dougie McBuckets takes things to the next level, gets even better. I expect Jimmy Butler to even elevate his game even higher, as well as Niko Mirotic. I love what I'm seeing out of first-round pick Bobby Portis, and Pau Gasol is one of my favorite players to ever root for. Why? Because he's a winner. Of course, a lot of the season hangs on the health of Derrick Rose, and I'm also a big fan of the mayor, Fred Hoiberg, as coach. The beast of the East is without a doubt the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are currently in coast until playoff mode because, quite frankly, it doesn't matter which seed they are. I don't think that LeBron James will win the MVP this season because I think he's going to take a page from the San Antonio Spurs and, in the most LeBron way possible, mail it through this season at the most highest level possible, but not quite winning the MVP. I don't find the Kevin Love maximizing his regular season value storyline very interesting. What I care more about is what he does in the playoffs. He doesn't have a lot of great playoff moments, and that's where Kevin Love is going to earn his money. I put a jelly bean or two on the Miami Heat to win the NBA title as well. People love to hate on Chris Bosh, but the fact of the matter is Chris Bosh is a winner, and he's a very good player. With Spo and Riley at the helm with the Heat, you don't have to worry about them figuring out a way to win. They already know how to do that. Maybe adding a key piece that we don't see right now at the trade deadline is what can help elevate the Heat from very good to seeing eye to eye with the Cavaliers. I think the Washington Wizards will just be okay. The top 6 seed in the East with a 500 record or better, but in the end, they just don't have enough surrounding John Wall. Speaking of John Wall, I saw a report that he is cutting gummy bears out of his diet. How many gummy bears do you need to eat for ESPN to report in a headline that you're cutting out gummy bears out of your diet? Is John Wall living in a movie theater? Speaking of players giving up food in the offseason, Charlotte Hornets forward Al Jefferson lost 20 pounds by giving up fried chicken. I didn't know that NBA teams needed to put signs up in the locker room that said, "Don't eat fried chicken and gummy bears all the time. It's not good for you." And by the way, this Hornets team is going to set records for white big men on the floor. Get this, they got Tyler Hansborough, Frank the Tank Kaminsky, Cody Zeller, and Spencer Hawes. The Milwaukee Bucks are the darlings of the Eastern Conference this season. The team that has promise that everyone wants to root for and thinks they could be better this season. They signed Greg Monroe in the offseason, and Jabari Parker's coming back from injury. This to go with Giannis, Michael Carter-Williams, as well as an underrated Chris Middleton. At worst, I think this Bucks team will be fun to watch. I still see the Pac-Man logo when I look at the Atlanta Hawks logo. I'm not really interested in the will the Hawks repeat their great season from last year. They just don't really interest me a ton. Welcome back, Paul George. I'm hoping that he gets back to his near elite level that he was at pre-injury. The thing that I'm looking forward to in this is, how does Paul George play at the 4? It didn't seem like he was very enthusiastic about playing the 4 and getting all bruised up there. Did you know the Indiana Pacers have 3 players with the last name Hill? George Hill, Jordan Hill, and Solomon Hill. If only Grant Hill can somehow announce one of their games. Consider me a fan of the Toronto Raptors' Kyle Lowry. I think that dude's going to ball out this year. Unfortunately, I don't expect anything more than a 4, 5, or 6 seed out of the Raptors and them being a little pesky. I like the signing of DeMarre Carroll, even though it is a little bit unsexy. The number one storyline out of Boston this season, without a doubt, will be the love fest of Celtics head coach Brad Stevens. It's already at dry humping and jeans level, and I fully expect clothes to be shed by the end of the season. Stevens continues to do less or do more with less. And remember, it's not the size, it's the motion in the ocean. I'm excited to watch the Orlando Magic this season to see if they can get out of the Eastern Conference basement. They've got some really good young talent, including rookie Mario Hezonja, who I've seen has been known to throw things down and keep things exciting, and I really like me some Victor Oladipo. With the New York Knicks, I'm most excited to see if and where Carmelo Anthony gets traded to. And I've heard rumblings, is it going to be the Heat or the Bulls? Here's the thing with Carmelo Anthony. It sounds like a fun idea, but what about his game makes me believe that he's a team player and is actually going to help a team be better and win in the playoffs when it matters most? I'm in one fantasy basketball league, and I've got 3 Detroit basketball Pistons. Reggie Jackson, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and Stanley Johnson. I'm really looking for big things out of Stanley Johnson this rookie season, hearing nothing but good stuff. And I think Reggie Jackson is probably one of the more underrated players out there. Just got a new contract, and I do think he's going to ball out. And I love me some Stan Van Gundy. I will probably watch 0 Brooklyn Nets games this year. However, shout out to former New Jersey Nets center Yinka Dare. If you want, head over to the Bacon Sports store. Created this custom Yinka Dare Nets throwback shirt, limited edition. It's awesome, super high quality material. Get you some. The Philadelphia 76ers' Joel Embiid is currently on pace to be the worst draft pick in NBA history. That's right, worse than the Candyman, worse than Sam Bowie, worse than Greg Oden. All right. I find this Golden State Warriors team to be very likable. Oh, let me start this out. Let's go to the Western Conference. I find this Golden State Warriors team to be very likable from a very casual fan standpoint. The type of team that you want to root for. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, Steph Curry, the style of play they have. I love Steve Kerr as a head coach. I love me some Draymond Green. He's exactly the type of player every fan wants to root for. Oh, I even have this sweet Warriors apron that I purchased off of eBay for when I'm grilling out sometimes. I love me some Kevin Durant. As I mentioned at the top, I am all in on the Thunder, and it started with purchasing this Kevin Durant hat in Pittsburgh. So I thought to myself, with NBA League Pass, what team is going to be the most interesting to watch? You're like, well, we've got Kevin Durant in a contract year. You've got Russell Westbrook coming off near MVP status, where he was throwing down triple-doubles like it was his job. Well, it actually was his job, but throwing down triple-doubles. Plus, Serge Ibaka there. This is the year for the Thunder. I'm all in. I even put a jelly bean or two on it at the Thunder plus 790 and Kevin Durant plus 625 to win the MVP. I heard a stat, and I think it was on Zach Lowe's podcast, that the Thunder have not lost a playoff series with Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Serge Ibaka all healthy. The Spurs have defied Father Time for all of these years, but is this the season where it finally catches up to them? We all just pencil them in as a contender, rightfully so. But their margin of error as they continue to get older is certainly much less. The addition of LaMarcus Aldridge and David West certainly is going to help the team. However, both of those players are over 30. Per usual, check back with the Spurs come playoff time. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to former Spur David Robinson. When I was a little kid, I wrote the Spurs asking for an autograph of David Robinson. And what did I get? I got a mailed signed picture from the Admiral. Love me some David Robinson and the Spurs organization. Anthony Davis's hat is certainly in the ring for best player in the NBA and potential MVP of this season. There's already a ton of injuries on this Pelicans team. Pelicans, what are they now? Yeah, I think the New Orleans team. And I just don't know if Anthony Davis is going to be able to win an MVP on a potential non-playoff team, especially if Kevin Durant is balling out and has the Thunder as a 1-3 seed. Oh, don't have one. The Memphis Grizzlies are like a pair of Wrangler jeans. They're rugged, and you know exactly what you're going to get with them. Deep down, I'm hoping the Grizzlies somehow find a way to make it to the NBA Finals. I love me some Marc Gasol, and I love me some Zebo. Unfortunately, like every season, it's just tough sledding in the West. The Rockets are the team that you want to convince yourself that they can win it all, right? I just don't believe in it. Dwight Howard isn't the same player he used to be, and that puts so much on the unbelievably talented James Harden. With OKC back in the mix, the Clippers with probably their best team ever, the Spurs reloading, and of course, the Warriors bringing back virtually everyone, it's going to be very hard for the Rockets, and I just don't think they have it. Couldn't fit into this one because it's a boys medium, but for $9 I had to buy it. The Clippers are both jaw-dropping to watch as well as equally frustrating and annoying. There's something about them that is very polarizing, and win or lose, this Clippers team will be one of the most interesting in the NBA. They added Paul Pierce, which is extremely important for their veteran leadership and hopefully will make them more stable. Is Kobe Bryant leading this Lakers team to an NBA title the number one storyline that could possibly happen in the NBA this season? I'm saying if anything was possible, if Adam Silver was like, all right, you've got a crystal ball and you can predict one thing and we're going to make it happen, would Kobe Bryant winning the title with his Lakers team be number one? I'm rooting for Kobe to be in FU mode all season and put up 30 a game. Is it likely? Of course not. But Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest players ever, and I want to see him go down in Kobe style. I wish the Mavericks had more around Dirk to give him one last shot at winning an NBA title. Don't forget that the Dallas Mavericks now have Deron Williams on their team. Can you believe that at one point we were saying who is the best point guard in the NBA? Deron Williams or Chris Paul? I've got Karl Anthony Towns on my one fantasy basketball team, and I'm loving him and the combo of Andrew Wiggins. I think they're going to be a dynamic duo, and if nothing else, at least this Timberwolves team will be fun to watch. Rest in peace, Flip Saunders. The Phoenix Suns should have a throwback night where they just have a loop of Tom Chambers' dunk on Mark Jackson's head with Thunder Dan Marley dunks. And another autograph story. Shout out to former point guard Kevin Johnson. I also wrote him back in the day and got back an autographed picture from KJ. Big shout out to you. Is there a more dysfunctional franchise in the NBA than the Sacramento Kings? They just added Rajon Rondo to go with Boogie Cousins. I'm anxiously awaiting their spring break style brawl in the locker room after the Kings lose by 25, where Boogie Cousins emerges with George Carl's beating heart Mortal Kombat style. Finish him! For the first time in his NBA career, Rudy Gay has someone nipping at his heels for best Rudy in the NBA, and I'm talking about Jazz big man Rudy Gobert. I still have to give the edge to Rudy Gay as the best Rudy in the NBA because he's coming off a career-high 21 points per game. However, Rudy Gobert certainly has the opportunity to elevate his game and get a little bit closer to Rudy Gay, and that's what I'm looking forward to with the Utah Jazz. With the Denver Nuggets, I'm looking forward to the inevitable Dalano Gallinari injury. Not because I want him to get injured, just because it's inevitable, and I do dig me some Manimal Kenneth Faried. In Portland, you've got Damian Lillard and a whole bunch of spare parts. Lillard is a ton of fun to watch, but I'm not going to be watching much of it this year. By the way, is Ed Davis a poor man's Tristan Thompson? Just look at the numbers. To recap, I've got the Bulls, Thunder, and the Heat tickets to win it all. And if I've got to choose one, I'm going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've got Kevin Durant to win the NBA title. And I don't think I've ever been more excited for an NBA season. I want to hear your thoughts, expectations, favorite storylines, everything. Hit me up on any social media outlet at Bacon Sports. Boom shakalaka!